Fat Tuesday, and they're having a big party, and the brewery's packed.
Oh, nice.
But we were getting the headphones set up, and I was very low in my headphones, but I could hear them perfectly fine. And I was telling him that, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm loud enough because I want to hear myself. I wish I could hear myself more in these. I don't know why it does that. Like in my other headphones, I could hear myself fine, but there's obviously a setting I got to figure out on this thing. But anyways, I said something to Kleiner about it. I was like, yeah, I hear myself enough, so I'm good because I like to hear myself. I said, John doesn't. Like when we do this, he doesn't want to hear himself, and I don't get it. He goes, yeah, that's fucking weird. Like artists need to hear themselves. I go, yeah, maybe that's why he's a shitty fucking musician.
I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to fucking hear it.
I totally threw you under the bus.
I'm glad we're recording.
A lot of that after the fucking shit you two did to me.
I'm glad I was recording for that. That was funny. I'm not even mad. I don't know if you wanted to upset me, but you failed because that was funny.
I know. Well, I wasn't trying to upset you because I know better. You were a good musician, but
it was just funny.
You and Kleiner fucking pulled on me the last couple of days. You can fuck right off.
Well, I didn't realize at first that Kleiner, when he first emailed, it was everybody. And
you and Jeremy, yeah.
I didn't even realize that at first, and then because I always click reply all no matter what. Out of habit. And then the last time I was like, reply all. And I looked, I was like, that's too funny.
Yeah. No.
And then Jeremy, you didn't say anything about all day. And I'm like, he must.
As usual, Jeremy was very oblivious to what was happening. I had to say something to him about it. And he goes, what? And then he responded with the smiley face. I go, don't encourage this shit. He goes, I just wanted to, add something. I'm like, oh my God, shut up.
That's good.
No, it was Sunday night. I guess we're doing our intro here. Yeah, Sunday night.
We're not doing the intro. No, this isn't for the jerky.
Well, whatever. I just want to bring this out because it was a really special night. I got to hang out with Lozzie. I wish you had been there. I wish, I said this in our last episode that came out. Well, we're recording this on Tuesday, so it came out today. But it was a lot of people I wish had been there, but it was cool to be able to spend some time earlier in the evening with my players. They all came out, and then, obviously the Kleins were there, which was great. A lot of the Holdfast family that I've come to know and love, and then obviously Jeremy. And I have since gone back and watched not all, but a good amount of your interview with Alix, who's, by the way. Everybody be prepared for that interview. It's going to be awesome. Actually, by the time this comes out, that would have already happened. So, yeah, because it's coming out Friday, right?
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know what one we're going to put this on. So maybe you're about to watch the episode or maybe you already have.
Either way, go watch the episode because what a cool freaking her and her husband. Unreal.
Yeah.
So cool.
Did you see my face reacting each time?
Dude, so cool. Oh, my God. But she is and I haven't seen, even on her Instagram, I haven't seen pictures of her husband unless I'm not paying attention. But she's a beautiful woman. And
probably a dreamboat.
Yeah, probably. And our players definitely noticed that. And as in hockey terms, they said she's an absolute rocket, as you told her. And that's why I feel okay saying that because you told her that straight up.
Yeah.
And my players said she was a rocket and wanted to come on the podcast to meet her.
She's a good sport and she's a brand new hockey fan. And
by the way, as I told Abby last night, your plan's gonna backfire something fierce.
Which plan?
Of pitting those two women against each other as rivals.
They're not. They're actually both. We're already saying they're probably lovely people. And they're gonna
I told Abby last night. I was like, yeah, it's gonna backfire because she goes, yeah, we're already Instagram friends. I go, yeah, you guys are gonna be friends, rival hockey teams, but you're gonna be friends and fuck John.
So, Cookie, let me ask you a question. We played hockey pretty much at the same time. If you knew me like you know me now, but we ended up playing against each other,
I would have fought you every time we were on the ice.
So I was gonna ask how long until we fought. That was gonna be
wouldn't have taken long. Opening draw.
Oh God, it's funny because I've been this way since I played. I hit hard, I skated hard, I worked hard. I wasn't a huge goal scorer. I've always admitted that.
I mean, it wouldn't have been too tough for me because you couldn't have reached me.
Just put your hand on my head like the cartoons.
Yeah, like the older brother and the little brother.
Cookie would have little brothered the shit out of me. But I've always been like I've been this player. I just pissed everybody off, and I took a lot of penalties, but I drew twice as many as I ever took. Cookie would have had twice as many penalties as me because he would have got a penalty, got out, and fought me. So he'd
I
have
did
like an
though. I
extra
told
voice.
Abby, I go, this is absolutely going to backfire on John.
Yeah. So, but the episode you guys are about to watch here is actually my interview with Alix. Real cool story. Most stuff I had no idea about. I just noticed
cool.
she's a brand new hockey fan, so of course that caught the attention. That's why I was super excited. Cookie here, and I knew she did the clay pigeon shooting. And then Cookie was out celebrating his birthday. So
Yeah, I was supposed to be on this podcast. That was never happening.
I'll be honest, Cookie said this when he did his interview. Like, he loved doing it. Like, it was a great interview that he had with his friend.
Oh, with Crystal, yeah.
Doing it solo,
Yeah.
not a fan.
No?
Nah,
it's awkward. I have a deep love for Crystal. She's like a sister to me. It was hard just in general because of the topic, but
right.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Where we benefited in these situations is like, you knew her, so you always had something to say. I always can lean on hockey and talking about something. But yeah, the episode you're about to watch is my interview with Alix. It was actually really cool. She does a ton of cool things. Everybody go follow her page. She is now an official fan of the Drury Panthers.
Damn right.
She has two favorite players.
Number 44 and number 88.
Yeah.
GSP and Garch.
Yeah, that's partially my bad, but you know what? You boys,
it actually worked out funnier than you can imagine.
You know what? After my 3 minutes of talking to these guys, and I'm so sad that I was on mute because I would have put that in the episode.
People have no idea. I'm so rattled because one of the first things I did Monday morning in my not hungover state, which is still baffling, is I got up and I wanted to watch some of your recording, and I realized you had started the recording when I called you.
Yeah.
And there was audio prior. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then it was gone. And but I will say the look on your face throughout that was epic. I was dying laughing, watching you dying laughing at me.
So my phone is always here and I lean it. I have a little stand for my Rodecaster. And I lean my phone against it. So if text messages are coming in, I can see it because I have a privacy screen on mine as well. And I when I put it, must have hit the button. So I'm looking, and there's probably a point where you can see I grabbed my phone, and I'm like, I had no idea it was muted. When she was on, because she couldn't hear me. And I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I noticed that.
And then I looked, and I could see me. I could see I was muted. I was like, shit. Well, here we go. Well, everybody, we are here for the All Angles podcast, and I say we, I mean me. As you notice, I'm flying solo right now. It is Cookie's 50th birthday, and I've been making jokes all day about which birthday it is, and I think I'm pretty accurate. 50th is what we're telling people. I'm pretty sure, like, he was sitting in the front row of the Ford Theater back when Lincoln was assassinated, so Cookie's got some years on me. But he's out right now enjoying his 50th birthday. And so I'm doing this solo. So let's see how this goes, huh? But today we have a pretty cool guest. I keep saying we. Well, you know, it is we. It'll still be we. We have a pretty cool guest. We have somebody joining us. It's late at night, all the way from over in the UK. And it's not the person you've heard us talk about before. It's actually somebody who's a fan of the rival team of the other person's fan, but also does a really cool sport, something I didn't even know was a sport until I started looking into the page and everything. Her and her husband basically run a business together. Apparently, he's very much against the favoritism for her, so he's extra strict with her work, from what I understand. But just like every other one of our guests, you know, I didn't learn a lot. I didn't get to know a lot about anything. Just thought the sport that they participate in is really cool, and they're a new fan of hockey, and so obviously that locks you in for sure. So we have here is Alix, and she is from the UK, And she's going to tell us all about her sport life, how she got into everything, her work, family, the whole shebang of it. And we're here to learn about it just like everybody else. So here to tell us her story is Alix. We're here with Alix, everybody. Alix, again, like I said, is from England. She is proudly wearing her Sheffield. That was a Sheffield. The fight's starting already. Her Nottingham Panthers t-shirt or jersey. It's like I don't even know anything about the sport here. And I'm sitting here talking about building the rivalry and everything. But before we get into all of that, the one thing that we're going to start off with is you're in England. It's you and your husband. Your husband runs a business, correct?
So it's not his business. We work for someone, but we kind of, he mans the farm.
All right. Well, so what kind of business is it?
So we breed falcons.
Did you say breed falcons?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about it. I got to hear about this. I did not expect that at all.
I told you, my shooting is like the most boring part of our life.
Well, let's talk about breeding falcons. I've never even heard that sentence before.
No, me neither. When I first met him and he said he bred birds, I thought like the little cute like canary things, but no, these are like full-grown falcons that they race in the Middle East. So yeah, he breeds racing falcons.
So does he do it for sale? Does he do it as a rehabilitation? Like, does he do it just to kind of preserve population? Like, breeding falcons is a awfully niche thing to do.
Yeah, purely just for racing. They'll they use some for racing and some for hunting out there, but we breed for one person. They all get shipped out, and then they take their pick from what we breed.
And it's for racing. They race falcons.
Yeah, so it's like a massive thing out there. They race them like flat line through one gate to another, and it's just fastest time wins.
So with their racing they're doing out there, is this something they're gambling on? Is it like a big
No,
sport?
obviously they're not allowed to gamble out there.
Oh, that's
so
true too.
So it is just for bragging rights. I think there is like prizes, and they used to win like cars or like the people that race them, like the teams and stuff. They can win prizes, but obviously there's no betting on them.
So how did he get into that? We're gonna have to do a whole another episode with him on here about this.
He accidentally got into that when he was younger. His mum's like a sciencey lectury person at college, so she does goes on loads of animal courses, and took him to a falconry centre to watch a falconry show, and he fell in love with birds from there, and then just shot his shot and ended up breeding them.
And now literally makes his living off of breeding falcons.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do they ever get contacted by like movie places or anything like that? I mean, there's so many movies that use falcons and things like that in it. I mean, does he ever have a part of that?
So a lot of people do that. We have been contacted by a series on Netflix that we're not allowed to like mention until it's aired. But we kind of advised them that we don't personally own birds for kind of displays and for like movies and TV shows, those kind of things, as a literally a purpose. So they all get we breed from them, they get shipped over there, and that's that. So
that's just the ultimate curveball to start this out. I never like I said, I never even thought of that as a career, let alone something you guys do. I know you said he kind of mans the shop. What do you do?
Whatever he tells me to.
Whatever he tells. Yeah, you did say, and I did say in my intro here that you don't get any favoritism.
No, everyone thinks we're like working with your husband. I must get loads of perks. I don't. I get worked to the bone. I can't use any lies or excuses to get a day off work because he knows exactly where I'm going or what I'm doing. So yeah, it's hard.
This show, it's a humongous disadvantage where Cookie's making up the excuse of being out celebrating his birthday right now, and that's not even true. No, we all know what he's doing. He's just taking the day off. But you said you're a kind of a newly found hockey fan.
Yeah.
How new?
December.
Like 2 months ago?
Yeah, what month are we in? February. Yeah, so beginning of December, we went to our first hockey game. Yeah.
And how, was it just something you're like, hey, let's just check out a game?
So I'm not quite a heated rivalry girl, but it might be on similar wavelengths. So obviously F1 finished beginning of December and needed something to kind of pass the time. And we actually came across the Face Off documentary
Mhm.
on, I think, is it on Prime? And yeah, obviously I got a slight obsession with a Boston Bruins.
Well, I think I told you before, like Bruins were my team growing up. I have like 4 Bruins jerseys hanging over in front of me, um, over there. So I can't be mad at that. But like I said, we are going to force you to be a Capitals fan now. But you know, so like you saw the documentary, and honestly, Heated Rivalry. Did you watch the show at all?
Yes, I did.
Is it?
I did that in a day.
What are your feelings on the show? How do you like it?
I think it's always going to be a very different perspective, a female's view on it to a
Mhm.
male. Obviously, I also am still learning about hockey, so I also can't really comment on it from a sole hockey fan point of view, but as a kind of, yeah, like romantic kind of girly thing to watch, it was really good. It's
Well,
very steamy.
well, the thing is like I haven't seen the show yet. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm definitely going to watch it. And as I've been playing hockey since I was 2 years old, Cookie's been playing hockey since he was 2 years old, and so for him, that's like 300 years now because he's so old. And I just love that he's not here. He's gonna just destroy me when he watches this. But you know, for me and Cookie, like we love all sports. We're big into everything, but we're such advocates of hockey. We talk so much about it. We can't get away from it. We both still work in hockey, and that's how he and I met. We both coached together in a couple different places. And so for me, it's my first thought is like, is it making people go to hockey games? And if people are
Oh,
going,
100%.
I'm like, hell yes, go. Then I'm already on board because it's hockey's the hardest game to grow. It's the one of the most expensive sports to play and to learn to play. And you know, it's hockey's always fighting for new viewership. And so something like this comes along, it's humongous. Cookie and I did an episode where we reviewed the new documentary about the 1980 Olympic hockey team, which um, the fact that like you know what that is, and that's such a worldwide phenomenon, and because it was just the whole concept of us beating that team at that time was not even a thought that anybody thought could happen. Hence why they name it the miracle, along with the Al Michaels call at the end of that game. It's that game alone is the reason for the explosion of hockey in the United States. It was already here, it was already pretty big, but that just made everybody so much more optimistic about it. And you see it happening all the time. So like knowing you have like the pro league over there. I actually know a guy who used to play for what's the team in Wales? Cardiff.
Yeah, Cardiff Devils.
Yeah, I think he played for them for a year at the end of towards the end of his hockey career. And he said he loved it out there, and it was just a lot of fun for him. I noticed places like your guys' place in Sheffield bring a ton of fans, which is awesome. So it's awesome to see the game growing, especially a new boom of it off the new show. So when girls are like, "Oh, because of heated rivalry for me," I don't give a damn. Like let it keep growing the show and everything. So now for you you're going to games live, which is something a lot of people don't get to do. What's your favorite part about the live game?
I think just the atmosphere. Like it's so different as well. It's like the atmosphere is quite similar to going to like a football game, but I would much rather take my child to a hockey game, which is so much like rougher and more physical and stuff than I would a football match. Like we, it's such a family sport that I would have never have imagined how much of a family sport it is. Like our little boy's 8 and he shouts and chants and like he's got to the point now where he shouts at the officials. Like he absolutely loves it. We've created a monster.
I mean, and he's at a good age if he gets like, especially if he, did you get him into playing? Has he asked to start playing or skating or anything yet?
Yeah, so he's just about to start lessons. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then like, it's a good age because the equipment's not that expensive yet. So if he gets real passionate about it and gets good at it, then you can start panicking about how much it costs to play hockey. That's a whole different episode. Cookie and I have already touched on that. We have more to come on that, but you know, it's there are companies out there trying to make it more accessible to people, which is great. It's a tough thing to do, but you know, I can sit here and go on and on about hockey all day, about what it does for as far as like building teamwork with people and learning to work as a team with people. And especially dealing with adversity, because there's a lot in hockey, whether you get hurt, whether someone makes you look like an idiot on the ice because they pulled a move that was really good and just embarrassed you, losing games, whatever it is. Like, you learn to push through these things. And, you know, I can sit here and talk about how it's the greatest sport ever, but I'm totally biased. But it's nice to see there's new people getting involved in it and kind of realizing. And I mean, honestly, what's better than the noise when your team scores?
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, in football, soccer for our American people, because we're too stubborn to accept that. Like, when they score, it's still a huge roar, but it's outdoors and it's such a big open space. Like, hockey's so confined, and the noise bounces off everything, and it's just a deafening thing. If you've never been to a pro hockey game, go. Whatever level, just go. It's pretty incredible. So, but now we have to get into something else that I didn't know was even a sport. And it's all over your page. By the way, you have phenomenal photographers. Real high quality stuff out there. Usually I'm like, well, I should be paid to go out and shoot this, but I'm like, it all looks pretty good. Like, it's kind of hard to get my angle on that. But so you do clay pigeon shooting.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that was a sport. The hilarious thing is we're cookie coaches. I guess they have a team for this at the university. And again, I didn't know that was a thing. But now we got to get into how you got into that, because as an American, we're surrounded by guns, and it's a problem here. And you're laughing just knows the stereotype we have about it. But and it's funny because that's not a big thing. And I know it's done family. It's a hobby here. They talk about it in movies for the wealthy people that do it. But you know, when you think of England, you don't ever think of anything with guns out there. And here you are doing a sport with a gun. So when did you start doing this?
So, well, I think I've been shooting for like 5 years now. So my husband just brought me, like, we have a go days, so anyone can go, and you kind of just get really like jolly targets that are really easy to hit, and they just get you to hit it and then send you on your way. And I was hooked. And I'm a very competitive person. I can't do anything without like trying to be the best that I can be. I have to compete. I can't do anything for fun. So my husband hates shooting with me because I won't just go for a play. If I'm shooting, it's got to be serious. So he hates it.
That's too funny. And so that you're shooting some pretty easy targets, and then you're like, you just kept saying, make it harder, make it harder, make it harder. And you just kept wanting to shoot things.
Well, I kind of went to ladies' days from there. So I tried a few ladies' days until I got my license.
What's a ladies' day?
So it's basically just women shooting. So a lot of tea, cake, gossip. Basically just like, it used to just be like gamekeepers' wives that just wanted to go and have a social, tea and cake. And then it was then that I kind of realized, oh, I'm not too shabby at this. So I think 2 months after trying shooting, I did my first competition, and then I was like, this is what I want to do.
So these ladies' days, the tea, the cake, the gossip, and shooting?
Yes.
I feel like that's extremely unsafe. Do you guys get each other all wound up and then they put a gun in your hands?
No, and to be fair, most ladies are pretty nice. Yeah, doesn't matter what sport, what sex, you're always going to come across some people. But yeah, most of them were quite chilled, quite nice. You'd only shoot like 10, 15 targets, and then they give you a bright pink rosette. So
you said it was you wanted to get in your competition. How long did it take before you competed?
2 months from when I first started shooting. So before I got my license, I managed to kind of compete through my local shooting grounds, so I could like just hire a gun from there, and yeah, they got me competing pretty quick, and then my license came through not much after that, so it was quite a quick turnaround. I was quite lucky. Not everyone in England gets a quick turnaround on their license, and it's a major headache at the moment. And then yeah, I haven't looked back since.
So you have to get this is obviously, is this a license to compete in the sport? Is this a license to be able to shoot these guns?
A license to hold a shotgun. So we have to apply and get approved for our shotgun certificates, which means we're legally allowed to. obtain a shotgun.
Okay, and then that's pretty much all people have out there, though, because there's no kind of license for like handguns or anything like that, right?
No, I really wouldn't know what it's kind of like on that kind of side over here. I know we still do have a lot of people that do. I think is it tactical shooting where it's like timed with the target. So I think they use like handguns and stuff, but I don't even know much about rifles, to be fair.
Mm.
Solely a shotgun girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I think it's called airsoft, is big out there. Like I see a ton of videos on YouTube. These guys, it's where some guys are former military, and then you have other guys that are wannabe military, and then you have other guys that are just reckless running around out there. And I know it's pretty big out there. Like I said, there's a couple big YouTubers that do that kind of thing. So I mean, there is that whole passion for that kind of stuff. But I mean, is shooting the kind of clay pigeon shooting you do out there for sport? I mean, is it still a pretty similar concept to here, where is it more of a wealthier group of people? Is it more prominent group of people, or is it really you get a pretty good mix of it?
Definitely get a bit more a big mix. I think it is getting better. It's getting a lot more like diverse. I think there's a lot more people realizing that you don't have to be a certain kind of person, or you don't have to have grown up like as a country person or in a wealthy family to be able to go out and shoot now. It is stupidly expensive at the moment, like with price increases and stuff. But I think it's like a lot of sports. Like you can make it as cheap or as expensive as you want. Like we have old boys that will just literally go out like on a Sunday, like shoot a few clays, have a plane, go home, and then you get people that shoot multiple times a week and hammer it and want. So it's what you make it really. You don't have to compete. You can just be like a leisurely play shoot.
Well, not you, because you refuse to do anything as a
No,
hobby, right?
no, I can't do anything for fun.
Yeah, that must be just don't take you like playing pool. Don't do anything because it's going to turn into an
No,
argument.
yeah, anything. I'm super competitive. I have fun while I'm doing it, but it has to have a purpose. Like I don't believe in this is probably really bad, but I don't believe in doing a sport if you haven't got a purpose in doing it. Like if you don't want to win, if you don't want to be the best at that, then I just think what's the point?
Just don't. So there you go, everybody. If you show up to do anything and she's there, you better be ready to play and keep it competitive. If you say you're there for fun, she's going to take you out in the first couple minutes. One way or another, we just learned she's a good shot. So now, when you say it's pretty expensive, I mean, when you go to these things, are you obviously you own your rifle, I assume?
Yeah, well, yes, I'm very lucky
Or
to
shotgun, I'm sorry.
work with the brands. So my shotguns are sponsored. So I do have I'm quite lucky in comparison to other people that I work with. Yeah, some amazing companies that sponsor a lot of my equipment that definitely make it a bit easier to get out and shoot a lot.
Yeah, I did see that you were an ambassador for a company, and we'll talk about them in just a minute. Which is again something you're pretty new at. The fact that you're already an ambassador was something. Um, that I mean that comes from being competitive. I mean that's just something that the person there for fun is not going to be sponsored. Get out of the way. So I mean, yeah, but I mean, you're going. Obviously, you have to own your shotgun. But I mean, every time you show up at the range, you have to buy the clay pigeons. You have to buy obviously the ammunition. Do you have to buy the space and time as well? Or are you paying like a fee just to go and use the area?
No. So we just literally pay for the clays when we're there. Obviously, you pay like a competition fee for the competition, or you pay for practice plays. Um, we obviously pay our coaches for training and stuff. So that's the only like other expense. But no, you just go to the grounds and tell them what you want to go shoot, and yeah, when it's free, we can go out.
So obviously there's areas designated for this. I mean, one thing I did learn about England being out there, there's wildlife everywhere. None of it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But there is wildlife anywhere. Like I spent time when I was out there last in the Peak District, and there was sheep everywhere. And then obviously you see the Highland cows when you're up there, which those things are just awesome. We don't have those here, so we're kind of obsessed with that in America. But there's just always something running around. Like foxes are everywhere, which we do have foxes here, and I've seen them a bunch. But I mean, they're literally everywhere. out
everywhere.
there. So, I mean, do they have areas? I assume they have to have areas that are sanctioned off just for this. Do you have them like, are they pretty regular or do you have to like make a pretty good drive to get there?
So my closest one is about 15 minutes from me. But we still kind of travel all over the UK. So like the furthest ones away are like 4 or 5 hour drive.
I can drive 4 hours and still be in my state here, just for the record. The concept of how big our country is to a lot of people blows people's mind. And so we always sound pretty arrogant when we're talking to somebody in the UK and they're like, I'm not going there. It's like an hour and a half away. And I'm like, I sit that in traffic sometimes just trying to go 10 miles down the road. But yeah, so now you're doing these competitions. How'd you do in your first competition?
Oh God, probably really bad.
Did that make you mad and now you want to get better because you didn't win?
So I tried my first kind of, so we have different disciplines. So when I first started, I shot trap. So I shot like down the line. So it's kind of like the same targets, they go in 3 different directions. So it's one of those really frustrating things that when you're not hitting them because you know exactly where they're going to go, in a sense, that the trap just oscillates. So you're going to get a left, a straight, or a right. So, and I think it took me a while to get used to like the pressure. Like some disciplines are really easy to count your targets, so you know exactly how many you've dropped, you know exactly where you are, and so that it is a massive mental game. Like a lot of it is like like the mental side of it over the actual skill side. So I think starting off, although I knew I could hit that, like I could shoot okay, it was yeah, learning how to deal with like the mentality side of it. That took a lot of years. There was a lot of strops, a
For
lot of
someone who gets
tantrums.
aggravated and competitive real easily, I guess that's quite the mountain to
Yeah.
climb there, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty the first few years.
And you said how long you been doing this now? You said 5 years?
5 years,
Okay,
yeah.
so I mean, and you said there was the one night. That's actually a good thing. I didn't even know. And you said there's different variations of it. You said there's one where it's just left, right, or center they're shooting from. Everything's coming out. I'm guessing pretty much at the same arc and angle when they launch these things or shoot them or what, I don't even know what it's called. But so if you're missing everything, even though you know where it's going, I could see where that would be quite frustrating. And
Yeah.
is that kind of what you would run into sometimes? You're just like, you know where it's going, you still can't hit it?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's worse. Like I think complacency is like a massive issue, especially for myself. So like there's another discipline that we shoot which is like sporting. So you'll have like an A target and a B target, but you'll shoot like 4 pairs. So you shoot that combination 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you'll shoot the first 3 pairs fine. And by the last pair, you're like, well, I know where they're going. I know where I need to kill them. You'll just get a bit lazy with like your process to get in there, and then that pair's gone just because you got a bit cocky.
So how's the winner? Is it just on the amount you hit, or is there a time frame?
No, so it like competition can vary. Some are just a day competition, some will run like over a week, like a lot of our majors and bigger tournaments. They'll run like over a week. Nearly all of them are just on yeah, highest score wins. We have some competitions where we go like the top so many from each day in the big ones going to like a super final. So you could literally have the like top score all the way through the week, go into the super final and lose.
So you can just ball out and just have one bad day and you're done.
Yeah.
So what other variations are there? You said you had the three. So what else is there when it comes to this?
So it falls into like 3 main categories and then there's subcategories. So we kind of have trap, ski, and sporting. And then, so in your trap disciplines, we have down the line, automatic ball trap, single barrel, police, or ZZ. Then we have Olympic trap and universal trench. Um,
It's funny because like the thing, and actually this is another thing with Cookie. Like one thing we love about doing these kind of shows is we don't research anything ahead of time because we want to learn about them in the moment. So like the more you go and you're like, there's this and this, and then boom, 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 and it just keeps going down the line. So it's actually pretty interesting because at first, like you could think it's like, okay, once you get good at it, it would probably get boring. But the more you talk about these, It seems like there's quite a lot to learn, and there's a
Yeah,
ton
there's
of
so
different
many
disciplines.
different directions to go. And I think depending on how people's style of shootings are, like there's always a discipline to suit someone. So it's not like if you're bad at one discipline, you can't shoot like another discipline. So
Mhm.
I have pretty much trialed them all.
So which is your favorite, and what's the one you're best at? Or is that the same?
No, actually not. I currently shoot sporting and the sporting disciplines. That's where I kind of lie.
And what's that like? What's that style like?
So sporting is like a variation of targets. So you'll shoot like on average it's like 100 bird competitions set over like 12, 13 stands, and so you'll get like an A target, a B target, and they
Mhm.
can pretty much present them like the course setters can present the targets however they like. Um, so that's the one that I currently shoot the most. It suits me mentally. I get very bored very quickly and can lose. Like I struggle with concentration sometimes. So having such variety, I can't get in my head. I can't count my targets. Like I don't know where like how many I've dropped and stuff. But the discipline I'm focusing most on this year, and which is what I'm going to do my England selection shoots for to try and see if we can make the England team, is automatic ball trap. So that is a trap discipline, which is completely different to the discipline that I shoot most of the time.
So what's a trap discipline? What does that mean?
Trap discipline, so you kind of have 5 slabs with like a microphone, so it's all on voice control, and you basically shoot 5 times from each peg. But the different trap disciplines basically have different traps inside them, so each one can be different. So ABT is one trap, but it's on like a ball and it oscillates in like a figure of 8. So
Okay.
you've no idea what kind of target presentation is going to come out. They can be really low, really high, really wide, and
So that sounds
yeah,
pretty busy as
but
well, though. I mean, that's definitely, you don't have time to be mad about what you missed,
no,
but
you
you still
don't
get
even
mad,
know
don't
how
you?
many you've shot.
Yeah.
No.
So which now is this the one you've been doing the most, competing in the most for this kind of things? Do you get to like choose like I'm gonna only compete in these things?
So you can, yeah, it's probably the one I shoot the least. I normally only shoot it when I have to shoot it for the county,
Hmm.
like the county shoots and county championship. But it's the one, like, I really enjoy shooting it. My scores are, they're fairly okay. They're above average. So, and it's one that not many ladies shoot. So, like my scores have been creeping up and creeping up. So in this discipline, so I thought, why
Is it
not?
all a co-ed sport?
Yeah, so it is again. It's one of again one of the only sports where females are can compete equally against men, which I'm all for.
I was about to say. So now you get to be better than them. I mean, how many competitions do you win a good amount of competitions?
There's good days and bad days. It honestly depends, like the level. So county shoots, I tend to do quite well in. I haven't shot a lot of majors. I only have one major title under my belt that I've won. So I won my class in the English Open Super Sporting, so that I beat all the men that were in my class, but I was in quite a low class in that. I was in C class. Uh,
How
but
do
then
the
we
guys
do.
handle it when you win?
To be fair, I don't. It's one of those sports that, like, if you literally outshoot them, no man's mardy about it. I've never met a man that's been bothered about a woman beating them.
I mean, how
It's
do you
quite
argue
a
it? You
nice
know, there's
sport.
zero chance of
Yeah,
cheating or anything like that, right?
exactly. We all shoot the same targets, and there's so many times that like a woman has won a competition overall as well. It's literally like it's quite easy for women to outshoot men in it. yeah, I think there's got to be a serious issue with a bloke if they're going to get marred because they got beat by a girl. At the end of the day, if you get outshot, you get outshot. There's juniors that are like under 21 that can put grown ass men to shame in this sport. There's some phenomenal people out there that are like can't even drive yet and will make like adults look silly on a playground.
That's actually a pretty cool thing. And, you know, so is the sport's pretty big out there, I assume.
Yeah.
Does it draw crowds? Like, are there people there watching and spectating, or is it pretty much just the people competing?
Yeah, it's normally kind of just like the people competing and like friends and family. Like the major competitions that like run over like a week, like people will still kind of there's quite a few where people will come back and watch and show support and stuff, but yeah, it's a bit give and take. You can have some finals days where there's no one there for a presentation other than the people that have won, and then you can have another one where there's like hundreds of people watching. So
And do you guys get a lot of media coverage? Is that something like not even just obviously broadcast is hard. That's a lot of money to put into something. But I mean, as far as just like other people covering it, like newspapers or anything like that, or are you guys just kind of out there on your own self promoting the whole thing?
yeah, I think a lot of it is self-promoting. We obviously have like shooting magazines and stuff that kind of covers stuff. We have like our I don't know what it's classed as, like the Clay Pigeon Shooting Association. So for us to be able to compete, we have to be registered with those. That's kind of like
Hmm.
our insurance and stuff. So they'll cover it. But other than that, it's very hard because like radios and stuff, they don't want to talk about shooting. It's such a grey area that trying to get people to promote it correctly and to show us in a good light is hard because some people just don't want to be associated with it.
Yet all the TV shows and movies will glorify gun
Yeah.
violence. And I'm not even talking like I actually love those movies. A movie that was obviously done out there, the movie Snatch, is all violence, the entire movie, and it's one of my favorites. It's such a good movie. But the whole thing is gun violence, and it's funny watching it. You're like, if they can't get guns out there, where are they getting all these guns from? But and so now, and for you, because I mean, you said that you don't have to be a country person. Like, are you more in the country? Is that where you kind of grew up in?
No, I was a proper city girl until I met my now husband, and
So
he
he's a
kind of
country
changed
boy.
my. Yeah, he is a country bumpkin.
So
Yeah.
so city girls going for the country boys is an international phenomenon. Because it's let me tell you, the city girls here love country boys. It never it never seems to fail on that. And I mean, you know, I mean, well, I'm sorry, not London, but the UK. Again, I've been there a bunch. I'm yet to visit London. I worked out in New York City for a long time, and I live just outside of there. I'm in Washington D.C. now. I was living and working in Dallas, is where I actually met Cookie, my co-host. I've been to the big cities here, and spent a lot of time in the big cities. So, like when I'm there, going to London's like it's just another big city. I know there's a lot of historical places, but you know, I'll find myself the place I love more than anything out there is the Peak District that my other friend Abby actually took me to, and I don't know if I would have enough storage on any of my hard drives to take pictures of everything I want to out there. So, I mean, is there ever anything out in that area? Because I do remember going to the Chatsworth Fair and that you could
Yeah.
hear people shooting, and I think that's what they were doing, especially on a ground like that. Talk about wealthy, but I, I mean, I was a guest and paid my way in, and I still didn't feel like I belonged. But you know, it's one of those kind of areas where, like you said, are there places with private shooting ranges, or is it all regulated?
It's all pretty regulated. I imagine there is some proper posh people in places that shoot on their own grounds and stuff, but no, all the playgrounds are pretty much open to the public. Not all of them you can shoot on if you don't have a license, so some are just for
Hmm.
shooters, but most of them, if you haven't got a license, you can pay for like a have a go day, so you go out with an instructor, and so most places anybody can give it a go.
So with when do you compete? When do you compete next?
My first selection shoot is the 11th and 12th of March, so not
So
long.
coming up.
Yeah.
Do they ever
And
like show these things on like YouTube or anything, or is it always a flagged thing because there's people shooting guns?
yeah, no, I don't think so. I think some of the like Olympic disciplines maybe get like a bit more coverage. There's like the British pathway for so that
Mhm.
there's literally only two disciplines of Olympic shoot, and that's Olympic ski and Olympic track. And
You're gonna
I'm
have to figure
useless
out
at
how to
both.
stream these things because, as we've learned, in Springfield, Missouri, there's a university of hockey players that are huge fans of you now, and I'm sure they would want to jump on and support to watch you shooting things. But and it's funny because actually almost that entire team's from Canada. I think they out of all their team, they have two guys that are American. The rest are all Canadian players. But they're all big fans of you. So I'm sure they would love to jump on and support as you're doing these things. We did touch a little bit on you're an ambassador, and it looks like Jack Pike. Is that the company?
Yeah, so I work with Jack Pike. That's one of my biggest gigs. Yeah, I've worked with those for quite a while. Just started like promoting their clothing and doing their brand campaigns and stuff like that. And then I do a lot of filming with them. So they've got a big YouTube channel. We do filming like with the so we hunt with eagles. So we do a lot.
Time, hold on. Now we gotta stop again. You hunt with eagles?
Yeah, so we have a golden eagle and we hunt hares with him.
So this thing, this is insane. So, so this eagle will hunt hares, rabbits,
Yeah.
and bring them back to you guys.
No, I wish it was that easy. We do have to go to him once he's caught one.
But you could still find it and go to it.
Yeah, so he's fully imprinted to my husband, loves him way more than me. So,
So, because let me tell you, I've had dogs in my life that when you try and play fetch, the dog won't bring the toy back. And when I chase it, the dog takes off. So you're telling me there's wild eagles that are trained better than a lot of people's dogs at home.
probably, yeah, he is just like a big dog. But no, so we slip him at the hares, so then he'll fly after him. If he catches, he will just sit on his tail until my husband goes over to him and lets him eat some of it. So yeah,
So he won't even eat it until your husband gets there and gives it permission to eat.
not unless he's miles away. Most of the time, he'll just kind of sit
The
on
eagle's
it.
like, I'm not waiting for him to get here. I'm starving. I
But
need to
yeah, if
eat
it
this
takes him a
bunny.
while to get there, he'll start digging into it.
My God, sorry everybody. Easter's canceled. The Eagles got all the bunnies. Again, this you're introducing me to yet another thing that I did not know was a thing, and it's such a cool thing. So with Jack Pike, now you mentioned that with the hunting eagles, which is a crazy thing to even say. So these guys, you said they're the ones who provide you with your shotguns as well. Do they make the shotguns? Do they make the apparel? What do they
No,
do?
they're purely just like a country clothing brand, like clothing and accessories. So they provide me with like my skeet vest, for shooting, kind of like my gun slits, cartridge bags, stuff like that. And then they pretty much hit me and my husband and my little boy out in all our work gear for the farm. So they are literally like country gear that you can wear like all day, every day. So they make sure we have clothing for work and for when we're out hunting, and yeah, so
That's actually a
they're a
pretty good. And you guys have the
massive
one kid
attack.
now, or how many kids do you have?
Just the one is enough.
And you said he's yeah, sure, we're done. Thank you very much. But I mean, it's kind of a cool thing though, being parents and raising a kid in such a niche environment. Like he's learning to do things I can promise you no other kids are learning to do. And as far as like raising birds and breeding birds, and then as far as not even so much the shooting thing, but like at least they're getting firsthand experience and responsibility with this kind of thing, which safety is such a key thing when you're going to be around these kind of things. I mean, do you see like your kid be a little bit more obedient to rules and things like that, even in other situations, just because he's used to being around pretty dangerous situations?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe he was 8. He's quite like beyond his years, but obviously he's been around the birds since he was born, he's been around guns since he was a couple of years old. So it's all the safety and correct etiquette in both our falconry life and our shooting life has been drilled in him since day dot. So
Have your husband's industry and your guys' work ever been affected by changes in economy and stuff like that? I mean, obviously, COVID, everyone always talks back to COVID is the most recent thing, but it was devastating and the amount of things it shut down. But you guys, your whole industry is pretty much outdoors. I mean, were you guys able to continue with that or was that all shut down as well?
yeah, no. So at the time, I didn't work on the farms with my husband. Then I was farming in a different sector. Um, so yeah, we were both not affected. We was quite lucky that we were still deemed able to go to work. I think my husband's very lucky that kind of the people that we work for and where the birds go, money's not an issue. So yeah, we were very fortunate. Yeah, other than the kid not being able to go to like childcare and stuff, that was the only change during
Because,
COVID.
yeah, your son must have
So
been only what, 2 or 3 at the time, right?
yeah,
God, yeah, God, I keep forgetting how long ago this whole,
yeah, it was so long ago
because
now,
it
but
still
yeah,
feels new. Like we still talk about it like we just got out of it in so many ways. But I mean, I think the last year of COVID being a problem was like my first year working with the Capitals. Like we were all still having to shoot games with masks on, and we were just allowed back near the glass and everything. It was quite the just absolute insane time of everything, and just seeing how different it was all over the world with everything. But I mean, your son was young, so hopefully he doesn't really have to remember how awful it was for a lot of the things and gets to kind of remain innocent in the mindset of all those things. But now he's young and both of you guys work in pretty manually demanding jobs and what you do and like really enforcing discipline and then you become a fan of hockey, which there's a lot of relation to it, but there's also a lot of wild cards that they're going to go and do their own thing. And it's such an impromptu sport with everything. And like I can tell you, everybody watching this on our end is going to be super happy. There's more hockey fans out there. Our one friend in Sheffield's not going to be so pleased. And excuse me. And the fact that you live closer to Sheffield is pretty. That's actually pretty funny with everything. If you ask me, as far as a person who loves to just start trouble with all of these things. So, with everything now, you have your social media. Do you guys have? Are you branding yourself as an athlete doing these kind of things? Are you starting to also take that more seriously, where you're looking to bring in more attention to yourself as a competitive? I mean, do you call it a competitive clay shooter? Is that how you would say it?
yeah, just the clay shooter sometimes. I think because of the work we do, it's hard to kind of so unlike a lot of competitive play shooters, I can't fully commit to a full season because it coincides with breeding season. Yeah, it's hard to kind of call myself an athlete when each season can be different, completely different with how much I can actually compete and stuff. And I'm not sure you can class us as athletes. I eat the whole way round. Like
Have you seen
I'm
professional
so
bowlers? I mean,
unhealthy.
they're athletes, so
Like we are not, some of us are not fit, healthy people. So I'm
that's
not
pretty
sure
good.
athlete
I mean,
is
and I
the
didn't mean
right
to
word.
crap on the whole bowling industry. And then you look at sports like pool. Um, they're not physically demanding. And bowling, I guess, could be a little bit pool. You're walking around the table the whole time. Two sports of which basically people do for recreation and fun, and they go out and drink beers and eat fried foods and junk food at the place. I'll be honest with you, that sounds amazing right now. It sounds like a lot of fun. But you guys are still out and you're out shooting. So you're walking around these places, right? I mean, if those two things are sport, I mean, this would really be sport. It's still competition. It's still something you have to practice for. Um, and I mean, there's a high level of danger to it, a lot more than bowling. I mean, you ever drop a bowling ball on your foot? That sucks. But like, you're shooting around, I mean, you're around live ammunition with stuff like this. And it is pretty important to be safe? I mean, how often are you guys having to go through different kind of like safety training and stuff like that for these kind of sports, or do you just kind of do it once and then you learn as you go?
Yeah, pretty much you have to prove that you fully aware of the safety and etiquette of shooting to be able to get your license. So once we've kind of proven it to get a license, a lot of it is common sense.
Have you
Clay
been out in the
shooting,
world? Common sense is not very common.
no, it's not. But clay shooting's quite different to every direction we shoot is safe. Like everything's in front of you. There's never anyone out there. Um, Other than obviously if people go to the traps, like to fill them up, but then it's like play is called off. Like it's very safe. The obviously like everything, accidents happen. Like
If a
I'm
guy
not that
waves
many
at you and he's
ever.
got no fingers, like he probably didn't listen to the safety meeting.
Yeah, like I've never witnessed anything, but you can never say something's 100% safe. But yeah, it's very very different than most sports. Yeah.
But I mean, for a competitive person, you're still pretty involved and you seem to have fun with it. So I mean, if people have a chance to go do something like this, if you think, I mean, is it something you recommend to other people?
Oh, 100%. It's like the best kind of therapy. Like you think going and watching a hockey game is like therapeutic. Like watching these little clay like discs turn into a ball of dust is like the best feeling in the world.
It's just like I said, it's a unique sport. It's not something that I don't assume is very big here. I'll be honest with you. If it is, it's probably in its own right. You know, the country's huge. We have a ton of countryside, ton of places you could do it. I know they do it here. Is this a sport that, I mean, I know you have it there and you compete in your nation and stuff like that. I mean, are there international competitions for this? Like, is this something
Yeah,
that's like they have big international meets?
I think so. I think it's very discipline dependent. I think different disciplines can take you to different places, but I know there's like European championships, obviously the Olympics. We have like so you can make it to the England team over here. So home internationals is obviously just England. I think it's like England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, Jersey, places like that. But there is, I know there's a massive sporting one. There's the world. So I think us and yourselves take it in turn to which country hosts it. I want to say it's in Texas or something random like that. I've never
Texas
been.
is exactly where I
Um,
would assume something like this is big. So
So I think we compete kind of against nations like that way. You can also compete for GB. So I think GB is more kind of international competitions. That's where you'll go and compete against like, other teams in like Europe and stuff. But I think
you said that was called
every country,
GV.
GB, Team GB,
Oh, Great Britain. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But I think every country shoots. I think it's just very different in different countries. I know I've got friends that travel all over the world, shoot in different competitions because like target presentation will be different. Obviously, topography is different in different countries, and yeah, I think course setting's different. So yeah, people do travel.
And you said, I mean, you've been watching the Olympics quite a bit, yeah?
Yes.
Are you watching all the sports? Are you just following the hockey?
No, I've watched a lot. I find myself watching curling a lot. I'm not sure why, but
There was quite the
always get
controversy in curling
curling.
with Canada. I mean, they almost fought.
Yeah.
It got pretty intense, which you would
Causing
never
issues
expect.
in all sports.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm catching a lot of guff right now, being American, born and raised in the United States, cheering for Canada. Um, Except for Cookie is another American, born and raised in Texas. He's the person not giving me crap about cheering for Canada because I think he is as well. I mean,
He's
I
right
am
there
because
with
two of
you.
our guys are there, and one of our guys is on Slovakia. The poor France goalie today is in the capital system, Clayton Keller. Um,
Bless him. He had
yeah,
a rough night.
he did. Well, they had two goalies in there, so they both had rough nights. But he's also very young. But you know, it's yeah, a rough night. That's the best way of putting it. Um, But have you? I mean, being into the shooting sports, do you ever watch the biathlon?
Yes, I think that's so cool. I would not be it. I can't shoot a still target. So hats off to them.
Wouldn't that be easier?
It's supposedly, yeah, but I just can't do it. My
It's you're
brain
not
can't
competing with
do
it enough. It's not moving. Like
it.
it doesn't excite you. I'm not shooting something sitting still.
No, see, my husband does a lot of rifle shooting, like stalking and stuff, and it just doesn't interest me at all.
Oh, you know, it's like I said, it's fun to learn about all these different kind of sports out there, and it's a person like I think I saw on your page you're also big into F1.
Yes,
Who's your driver?
massive. I'm a Lando girly.
So why is it? Isn't it the guy who's your good driver from there, Lewis Hamilton?
Oscar Piastri is the other one.
Oh, okay. So with Hamilton though, I hear a lot of guff about him. A lot of people don't like him.
He's grown on me over the years. I think he used to be very, very arrogant, very cocky, but when you're winning that many titles, I think who wouldn't be?
I mean, his house is probably bigger than Buckingham Palace out there,
Yeah.
right, at this point. Because
No,
F1's
he's
one of those
matured
sports.
and mellowed.
Yeah, I mean, F1's one of those sports that it's always been popular here, but we never had it, and now we're starting to get races here. And I've once photographed Formula E, when they had it in New York City and in Brooklyn, which was kind of cool, except obviously the cars don't go nearly as fast. They're so quiet, and there was no straightaway, so you couldn't even see how fast they went. But it was like the closest I've been to Formula One. But definitely one of those kind of sports that I would love to shoot. I know they have the Miami and Vegas, and I think there's another one they have here. And it's I know it's huge out there. Like it's very, very big, and people here are getting into it. Is that something you've always been into as well, or is that like another new sport for you? Because it sounds like
No.
sports is brand new to you on the whole.
So I've always been a football girl, so diehard football fan, like played football for years when I was little. So everything else kind of came a bit later in life because I was very tunnel vision. Football's the best sport, nothing else compares. So no, F1's only been a couple of years as well. That was because of Drive to Survive on Netflix. So
Right. I mean, I think the movie Rush with one of the Hemsworth brothers was pretty good too. The true story about those two guys that were a rival. Again, I know movies dramatize a lot of stuff, and it's not always true, but it's one of those things that makes you think about the sport as
definitely
well
gets
with those.
people into it. Yeah.
So, but I mean, and I need to make sure I block you from all the episodes where I sit here and say soccer's not a sport. We they're trying to make it big. The World Cup is here in the US this year. It's the only time we ever care about the sport, but we have Major League Soccer here, which is growing tremendously. I know we had a legend in your country, Wayne Rooney, that played for DC and coached DC here. And so like a lot of my friends over there were like floored by that. Because I guess how big of a person in that world he was. And I'm like, who? Like I had no idea who he was. I photographed it a little bit. It is fun to photograph the sport, but it's funny how we will, especially as hockey people, that we trash that sport so much. But the ironic part, if you ever watch an NHL game and they show them warming up, they play a game called sewer, which they're kicking
Yeah.
a soccer ball around the whole time. And obviously with all the European players, soccer's huge. Our player Alix Ovechkin played in a game for Dynamo Moscow out there when in the offseason one year, still scored a goal and ran a guy over because he's huge. But yeah, the obsession and the fandom for football there in the UK and a lot of Europe is insane. And it's quite the thing. Did you ever get into rugby?
No, I never understood rugby.
It is a tough one. Like we have American football here, and the first time I tried to photograph rugby is like they tackle the guy. In American football, the play stops, and it's a couple minutes before the next play starts. That sport just keeps going. There's no break, and those guys are mammoths, and they have no equipment on. It's pretty incredible. It seems like it's right up your alley. It's competitive and violent. Something you might want to take a second look into. And next time we have you on the show, you'll be talking about your obsession with rugby.
But
We do watch the England when England play. That's the only time we watch it, but I do not understand what's going on. I just watch it and just if points change on the England bit, I know we're doing good, but I've got no clue what's going on.
I tried to learn about it, and you should hear me trying to ask questions about what's going on. Like I'm like, they didn't stop. Why are they all huddled up, two teams together when it's the scrum? And then they will throw the ball in, and they lift each other up like cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they doing that? And it was quite a confusing thing. But it's an old sport, and it's got its place. And me and Cookie did a reaction video to Australian rules rugby, but it was all different things. And as much as people love that we were trying to learn about it, there's a lot of people just roasted us because we didn't know the difference in Australian rules rugby, rugby league, all these different things. I still don't know the difference. I just know it's violent 100% of the time. And it's quite the crazy thing. So, but I do appreciate you coming on. I know it's late for you. We're creeping up on midnight. Actually, it's after midnight for you now.
Yeah.
Out there. You were out at a Panthers game today. They did win. So if people, to end this with an argument, to starting an argument, why should people cheer for Nottingham versus Sheffield? Let's hear it.
I can't even sit here now and say because we're the better team, because after today, Sheffield are above us in the league.
I know that you guys are the big rivals, right?
Yeah.
As well.
So they're now a point ahead of us, I think, after today's game. But I think they have a game in hand. So we'll let them sit there for a minute or two.
And Nottingham, it was one of their players that went viral for singing the song before the game, right? Wasn't that there?
Yes. So Mitch Fossier, he sings and he sung Pink Pony Club at one of the testimonial games.
And he did great.
He's so cool.
It was really good. You know, it's funny though, because growing up, the most I knew about Nottingham was from the Robin Hood stories with the sheriff of Nottingham. So, and that was Nottingham, right?
Yes.
Am I not getting okay?
Yeah.
I love all the history there in England, and like every single place has its bits of history, and so it's always kind of a fun thing. I do love starting trouble and why I continue to try and build this rivalry between two people that don't know each other. I'm trying to get them to absolutely hate each other through their teams. But that's what hockey's all about. It's cheering for your teams. It's the same thing with football out there. I think I learned not so much your team. You said your team was Arsenal, right?
Yes.
I don't really know.
That's a controversial one as well.
Is it really? Oh, Lordy. But I always hear about like the Man City and Man United people like at each other. Like that's a big one too, right? Obviously.
Yep. So my little boy's a Man City fan. My husband's a Man United fan, and I'm an Arsenal fan.
So what's the controversy with Arsenal?
We all hate it. Basically, Arsenal fans are, I don't know what kind of team they would compare to in the NHL, but we think we're going to win the league and like win all the competitions every season, and then we bottle it.
You're the New York Rangers.
Is that who we are?
You are the New York Rangers of that league over there. The Capitals have quite the rivalry with the Rangers. I grew up a Bruins fan. They've always had a good. Bruins have rivalries with a couple different teams. Like they're big rivals, Montreal historically. There was if you get a chance, go online and look up Boston versus New York brawl. And there's an old video from the 70s where one of the players on Boston goes into the stands and beats a Ranger fan with his own shoe. So he goes over the glass and into the stands for this fight at Madison Square Garden in New York. And now the guy is on TV all the time, or used to be. Mike Milbury, it was the guy who did it. He coached. He was an analyst on TV, and he also beat up a fan with his own shoe in New York as a Boston Bruin. So, but yeah, the New York Rangers are one of those. Every year we have to hear about it, how they're going to win the Stanley Cup. They're the best, and I think right now they're in dead last in the NHL. Or close to it.
We're not dead last. We are actually this year is the first year in a long time. We haven't bottled it yet, but we could be getting close. But we're the top of both of our leagues and as far as we possibly can be at this point in two of the tournaments. So we're doing all right. It could be our year.
You guys face relegation out there too if you're that bad, right? Like you can get.
Yeah, so
I,
that was something that we was quite like interested in hockey. Is it doesn't matter how rubbish you are, you're still there next season.
if you're the worst team in the league, you have a better chance of drafting the next best player coming up, actually. So there's almost benefits to it. I love the relegation thing, and I would love more than anything if that was a thing here and teams got relegated. It would just make everything so much more competitive in the sport,
Something
but
to
it would
fight
be a
for.
bloodbath every night if we face that. That is absolutely probably one of the most diabolical rules in sports about facing relegation.
It's amazing though, because come the end of the season, you could, if you end up having to play like a team that's fighting for relegation, they can be like the best games of the season. It could be like the worst team in the league, but because they need the points to try and save themselves from relegation, they come out hard and they can be some of like the most intense and like best games of football
Does it happen
ever.
every year?
Watching the
Does
top.
a team get relegated and promoted every single year?
Yes, so it's 3 of 3. So 3 go down, 3 come up.
Oh my God. How many teams are at the top level at any time?
So we have 20 teams. Oh God, you test me now. 20 teams in the league, I think. So the top so many go to different competitions. So like the top 5, I think the top 5 go for Europe. Top so many in each league go for the like, Champions League, and so we have all sorts of different competitions. But yeah, the bottom 3 get relegated every year.
Out of 20 teams, that's actually because the NHL's got 32 teams or something like that. And nobody gets relegated. 20 teams in the bottom 3. I mean, the Rangers would be getting relegated this year. Right now, I'll tell you, 2026, 27 is your year, Rangers. You have to hear about it all the time. So it's the sports world is a wild world. That's why when I saw the stuff with you shooting and doing all that kind of stuff, and it is a sport. Like, don't discredit yourself from you because you do have to train and practice where you compete. It's something different. Like I said, and when I first told Cookie about getting you on, he was saying, he goes, I think he's friends with the coach of that team at the university that they have there. So it's kind of a cool thing. And now also it looks like you're probably going to have to be a fan of the Drury University Panthers, which compete in the ACHA. They're ranked 5th in the nation right now at the top level of the ACHA. So they're a very good program. Cookie and our other buddy Jeremy are the coaches there. So, and they're also the Panthers.
Yeah, well, that's fate because we're the Panthers and sitting in 5th. So it was meant to be.
That's right. You hear that, Abby? They're not the Steelers. They're the Panthers. I'm going to get so much hate messages out of this, and it starts the process of
I'm going to
anger.
meet her at a Steelers Panthers match, and she's going to be absolutely lovely, isn't she? We're going to get on like a
she's
house
such
on
a nice
fire.
person. Like I said, she was so nice to drive me to all these amazing places up there in that Peak District and show me a bunch of stuff. She's a photographer as well. She's a phenomenal photographer. This whole thing is my doing. Like, I am 100% to blame for causing all the problems. We are trying to get her on the show, so I might make you go follow her and message her to say to come on the show. And she knows me.
To come on.
For Christ's sake, she knows me. It's not like I'm a stranger. But yeah. So the Drew University Panthers. You now have a new fan here with Alix. She's a big fan. You're her favorite team. She's diehard. I don't think she'll be flying out for games this year, but maybe next year you guys can set her up with some tickets in Springfield, Missouri. I don't know what else you would do in Missouri. It's close to St. Louis. Do you know what St. Louis is? All right,
No.
Jerry, you're gonna have to put together a hell of a
I don't even know where
package.
Missouri is.
It's St. Louis is they have an NHL team there. They have the St. Louis Blues. So they do have that. They have a lot of professional sports in St. Louis. It's the city with the humongous arch in the city. So you ever see pictures of that? That's St. Louis. They're a couple hours from there. And that's the only way I can really sell Drury University Panthers. And I think they've had some celebrities. I think Brad Pitt went there, or he's from Springfield or something of that nature. So there you go. But Alix, I tell you what, I do appreciate you staying up late. I appreciate you telling us about your shooting sports and telling me about falconry, falcon breeding, and eagle hunting, and all these different things I got to learn about. I do wish Cookie was here, but he's living it up like he's 21 all over again.
As long as he's having a drink for us as well.
He's had a lot of drinks for us today. I'll tell you that right now. But good on Cookie. He works hard. He does so much for a lot of people. He deserves the day of fun, and it's great because his team is basically the one that said we're celebrating you today, which is pretty great. Because they all, right before you got on, they all called me on speakerphone, and it was exactly what you think it would sound like with that phone call. So, Alix, I do appreciate you coming on. We look forward to some updates on all these things in the future. And good luck to your Panthers. Not good luck to the Steelers, right?
No,
you
we
need them.
We play them on Wednesday, so I hope you're rooting for the Panthers.
Oh, we play on what? Yeah, me and Cookie will have to maybe do a live. We'll cheer for the other teams. Are you in? Are they in Sheffield or are they in?
No, so we're at Nottingham on Wednesday. It's the first leg of the semi-finals for the Challenge Cup. So ours Wednesday and at Sheffield on the 20th.
Oh, so there you go. So it's a home game for you. It's going to be rowdy. We expect the updates, but again, Alix, thanks for joining, and we look forward for all the updates in the future.
Thank you.